The sun was already up, and I was over an hour late for school. Whatever. Not a big deal. Today's my birthday. I'm treating the whole class. Let's get this party rolling.
Skylar, stop this nonsense right now.
Take it easy, teacher. You only live once. Gotta enjoy it while you could. I burst into the classroom, kicked my bag onto a desk and started blasting beats. In seconds, the whole place turned into a disco. And then with another loud bang, the classroom door flew open again.
If you can't keep up in class, then go get some tutoring.
Hey, easy.
Whoa, Skylar, did the world just flip upside down? Who's that girl that's got you like that?
Trust me, I'd been asking myself that too. If you want the story, hit like and subscribe, and I'd tell you everything. Skylar Windsor, 17, youngest son of one of the richest families out there. I lived for parties, luxury, chaos, non-stop. Fun school? That was just another venue. My grades were trash, but who cared? My parents basically owned the place. Sure, they complained about my lifestyle, but let's be real, no way they'd let their baby boys suffer.
This is Brionna, the top student in our school. From now on, she would be tutoring Skylar.
What? Who is she? She looked like she just sucked on a lemon.
I refused.
He spent a full hour trying to talk me and Miss Know-It-All into becoming a study buddy duo.
Your parents said they'd cut your credit card if your grades didn't improve, and if you help Skylar, your scholarship will be secured. His parents fund the school.
Fine, we could start now.
Wait, you literally just said no?
I changed my mind. Helping you benefited me.
Wow. She didn't even try to hide how money-driven she was. No fun, no warmth, just profit. Exactly the type I hated. No matter how much I resisted, Brionna took the job. She walked into my class like she owned it, talked about my terrible grades with a teacher, and even dug through my old tests.
F's in every subject. Was your brain just a dance floor and a party playlist?
The whole class cracked up. I was burning inside. Easy, Skylar, don't hit a girl. She'd cut soon, right? Yeah, I was way too wrong. No matter where I hid, Brionna found me. She tracked me like a heat-seeking missile. How did you get here, and what do you even want?
Your parents gave me your address. They also gave me permission to cancel every party if you refuse to study.
She showed up right when every party hit its peak and ranked each everything. I became a joke in front of my own squad.
Dude, looks like you got yourself a full-time babysitter from hell.
I wasn't letting her win. To get back at her, I turned every study session with Brionna into a full-on party. The second she stepped into the room, it was like fireworks went off everywhere. Boom! Lights flashing non-stop and some brain melting. EDM blasting through the air.
What was this?
Oops. Just giving your highness the VIP entrance.
I said stop.
My friends, who'd been hyping me up before, suddenly went silent and dipped. They shot me pity looks and bailed one by one. Great. Guess you only find out who's real when things go south. Brionna and I were officially enemies.
Deal with me. You study, and I'll get you into college.
And what did I get?
Freedom. A new city, no parents controlling you.
Deal. But just as I pulled out my books and started forcing a few boring calculus formulas into my head, Brionna's phone suddenly kept ringing. I just got into it.
I had to go finish this. I'll check tomorrow.
Seriously, was I a joke to her? This happens every day. She'd drop off homework, then vanish at 5 p.m. on the dot, leaving me alone. Who did she think she was, Cinderella? So I followed her right into a coffee shop. There she was, running around, serving tables, working non-stop. Nothing like the cold tutor she was at school. Oh, so that's what this was. She wasn't here for me. She was here for the money. If I showed this to the teacher, he'd be crushed, and maybe I'd get a nicer tutor. Yeah, that was the plan. I was about to die of boredom, staking out that coffee shop, when Brionna suddenly rushed out again. I followed her and watched her stop at a supermarket cashier and flyer girl, then tutoring 2 rich kids. And to top it off, delivering fast food. At midnight, Brionna dragged herself home. After all that, I followed quietly. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't worried about her safety or anything. It was just, I couldn't stop thinking about her. I'd always called her money hungry. But what I saw was else. This insane drive, this stubborn strength, I couldn't even wrap my head around. In the time it took me to throw one wild party and pop a few champagne bottles, she'd worked non-stop. We were nothing alike. Her house sat in a lonely suburb, old but glowing warm under yellow light. A thin woman was waiting outside. Her leg was injured.
Mom, you don't have to stay up waiting for me. Just go to sleep.
I'm not tired. I just want to wait until you get home. Oh, sweetheart, you've gotten so thin. Don't push yourself too hard.
Don't worry. I'll make enough money for the surgery and you'll be able to walk again. I promise.
I slipped away, my chest feeling weirdly heavy. Briona showed up to tutoring like always. Cold, precise, never a second late, but now all I could see were the dark circles under her eyes and her cracked, tired hands. Hey, I knew your secret now.
What?
About you being short for money for your mom's surgery? So here's the deal. You help me cheat in competitions, and I'll pay you a ton. Go on, say thanks. I just came up with a genius way for you to make big money off me. She was totally supposed to jump up and thank me. My brilliant plan. A hard slap landed right across my face. I was about to snap at Briona for being ridiculous, but the look on her face hurt way more than the slap ever did.
I hate people like you.
Before I could think, I grabbed her wrist to stop her from leaving.
You thought money fixed everything. I hated rich kids like you. Selfish, careless, acting like cash could erase anything.
Hey, what did I even do to you? I was trying to help. You need money, don't you? Don't you want your mom treated? At the word mom, Briona broke down. Oh no, I had zero experience comforting girls. So I awkwardly wiped her tears, trying to be as gentle as possible, like touching morning dew on a fragile flower. Don't cry, geez, it was my fault.
If she didn't get surgery soon, she'd never walk again.
That was the first time Briona told me her story. She and her mom used to be happy. Until the accident. A drunk rich kid had hit her mom after a wild party. And just like that, he paid his way out of responsibility. Since then, Briona had been carrying everything, working herself to death just to afford the surgery.
Sorry I snapped at you. I handled it myself.
Honestly, I wanted to walk away. This wasn't even my mess. Fine, I'll admit it. I secretly looked up how much her mom's surgery cost, and the number was insane. The little allowance my parents gave me, which I'd blown on parties, wouldn't even come close to covering something that expensive. Were you okay?
Thanks.
I couldn't ignore how exhausted she looked. Somehow I started admiring her and wanting to protect her. If something was too hard, my parents always fixed it. I was their golden boy. After all,
Why should we help her?
she helped me improve, and her mom needed money.
You have to help Briona with your own effort. If you don't grow up, you'd never be able to protect anyone.
Right? When I felt totally stuck, light bulb went off. Briona almost jumped when she saw me at her coffee shop, dressed like a real worker. I'm working with you. Double the income.
I didn't need your pity.
It's not a pity. My parents cut my allowance, so I gotta earn money too. To pay my tutor. She stormed off and I happily followed her. From the coffee shop to the supermarket, then delivery jobs. Alright. When she tutored kids, I just stood outside waiting. From then on, my days settled into a new rhythm. I went to Briona's classes during the day and at night. I followed her to every part-time job. I ditched all my luxury parties and actually saved a decent amount of money. My friends stared like I'd gone crazy, throwing lines like the party king turned good or the rich kid finally grew up. I didn't care. I used to treat money like trash, but now I knew how much it meant when you earned it yourself. Briona almost gave up on my shamelessness. She kept sighing.
Do whatever you want.
But whenever we were both worn out from studying and working, she'd quietly lean against me, half for rest, half for comfort. It was subtle, but weirdly warm. On the day of the surgery, Briona gripped my hand so tight it hurt. It'll be okay. We worked so hard. We have enough.
The patient had dangerous complications. We need to act now. This is the cost.
Wait, we don't have that much money.
If we don't treat her immediately, she may never walk again.
Briona broke down. I tried to think of something, anything, but I was helpless. I'd never hated myself more. If I'd been smarter, if I'd worked harder, I could have helped her.
We'll cover the cost. Start the surgery right now.
Dad, Mom.
We've seen how much you've changed, so this is your reward, but you have to keep studying and get into a top university. That's the condition.
After a long grind, we both got into the same university, one of the top schools in the country. Briona still couldn't stop worrying about the money my family and I had helped her with.
I'll work even harder and pay you back soon.
I told you, you don't have to. What kind of couple keeps tabs like that?
But
Then, just keep helping me study, my beloved tutor.
I was on my way to Julia's house for a study sesh when out of nowhere, I found myself flying onto the ground. I was so stunned, I didn't even see the ball that had hit me, or the fact there was a cute guy rushing over to check if I was okay. I'd scraped my hand pretty badly, but I almost didn't mind because now I was face to face with a gorgeous guy. In fact, I was so busy staring at him and blushing that I didn't even notice Julia marching towards us.
What are you two doing?
Turns out the cute guy was Callum, Julia's boyfriend. Of course, every nice thing is always hers. I'm Jenny, by the way, and that lucky girl is Julia. She's the daughter of the richest guy in town, Mr. Walsh. We're supposed to be friends, but we honestly have nothing in common. I mean, my family is pretty poor. It's not our fault, though. My dad sadly passed away, and so it's just me and my mom trying to make ends meet. Julia, on the other hand, has a silver spoon shoved down her throat. But fate still brought us together. I know it's kind of wrong, but that night, I couldn't stop thinking about Callum. He now, in fact, gave me motivation for the next study session with Bossy Julia, as maybe he would be there again. I even put on makeup and skipping on the way to her house the next day. But, well, it was all for nothing because Callum was nowhere to be seen. Instead, I had to sit and listen to Julia go on and on about her trip to Paris. I pretended that I was okay, but actually, I always dreamed of visiting the City of Light and gazing up at the Eiffel Tower, ever since watching Emily in Paris. Dream on, Jenny. Anyway, Julia was incessant. She loved making me look like a fool, and even said,
Aw, poor Jenny. Maybe one day you'll get to go to Paris, but until then, you can just look at all my photos.
Last year, around my birthday, she'd even shown me a fashion magazine and asked me which dress I liked best. I thought she was buying gifts for me, but instead, she showed up at my party in the exact dress I pointed out. I couldn't believe it. She just winked at me and laughed, and I seriously wanted to scream at her. Anyway, after looking at about 1 billion Paris pics, Mr. Walsh appeared. He looked happy to see us sitting so close and studying together. If only he knew the truth, but I had to pretend. I had a lot of fun with Julia and helping her study, at least for his sake. Mr. Walsh was a good friend of our family, and ever since my dad passed away, he'd been looking out for me and was even paying my school fees. I couldn't let him down. But you know what? I actually started to get excited to go over to Julia's now, as the thought of bumping into Callum again gave me butterflies. I even got myself a new hairstyle. But he was never there, and I always left feeling disappointed. Then one time after school, it started to rain dogs and cats and I had to run for it. Then suddenly, I felt an umbrella over my head. Guess what it was? Callum, coming to the rescue. It was like something out of a romantic movie. He even offered me a lift home. My heart was racing so hard. I was afraid he'd hear it. I just sat there in silence, dripping rain all over his clean car. I even caught him looking over at me a few times, and my heart felt like it was going to leap out of my chest. He pulled up at my house, so I was about to get out when he touched my arm and said,
Can I get your number?
I was confused. I mean, wasn't he Julia's boyfriend? He then explained that he was just hired to be her fake boyfriend so that all the flirty boys would get out of her way. Wow! I couldn't believe it. He asked me to keep it a secret as Julia would end us both if this story got out. Okay, it all made sense now. That's why he never came over to her house. I felt so happy. Over the next few days, Callum and I chatted a lot on the phone, and then eventually, he asked me out on a date. We were having so much fun, and then a familiar voice pierced the air.
Well, well, well. Isn't that my dear friend Jenny?
I felt dread rush through my whole body. Callum dropped my hand and rushed to Julia's side.
It was all her, babe. You gotta see the messages she sent. She's been flirting with me for weeks. It's pathetic.
Whoa! Was he for real? A second ago he was about to lean in for a kiss, and now he was bad-mouthing me. How could he be so two-faced? I tried to explain to Julia, but she wouldn't listen. She just called me a traitor in front of everyone and told all her friends to lock up their boyfriends in case I try it on with one of theirs next. I was devastated. Everyone was staring at me and judging me. If only I could vanish into thin air right now. And as I was thinking about where I could escape to, a guy appeared, grabbed my wrist, and pulled me away. It was Stefan, the guy who lived across the road from me. I didn't understand why he helped me, but I was so grateful that he did. He walked me home and tried to cheer me up by saying how his mom used to love our bakery so much, and that the carrot cake my mom made was his mom's fave. This made me smile, thinking back on all those happy times in our family bakery. When my dad had died, we'd had to sell it to pay off some debt, and life had become quite difficult. Luckily, Mr. Walsh was helping out, but after what just happened with Julia, I wasn't sure I'd be able to face him. The next day at school, everyone was staring at me. I couldn't even find a place to sit at lunch. What had I done? I'd ruined everything, and then it got worse. My phone beeped. It was Mr. Walsh. He said he was so disappointed in me, and that I no longer needed to come and tutor his daughter. I wanted to cry, and at the same time, I felt so much relief. But then I read on, and he said,
I'm sorry, but I can't keep my promise anymore. I'll continue to subsidize your school fees, but you'll have to figure something out for college. Good luck.
My heart plummeted. Not only had I been shunned by everyone at school and backstabbed by Callum, but now the door to college was being slammed in my face, too. I felt so sick. I just walked out of the canteen and went home. I didn't dare go to school over the next few days. I was miserable, and just when I'd given up all hope, there was a knock at my door. It was Callum. He said he was sorry for what had happened, and that he missed me so much. Then he asked me if I'd be interested in being his secret girlfriend. I I was so angry. I wanted to slam the door in his face. At that exact moment, Stefan happened to walk past. Seeing me standing there with Callum, his face changed, and he immediately walked away. Oh no! I definitely couldn't let him misunderstand anything about me anymore. I chased after Stefan. I finally caught up with him and blurted out how I've been feeling. Like the whole world was against me, and that I didn't know what to do. He told me to calm down. Then we went to sit on a bench in the park as he let me confide everything in him. By the time I finished talking, I was on the verge of tears. Then he said,
Listen, Jenny, you're better than this. Don't dim to fit in with those people at your school. Good people will see you for the real you. You're strong, and you can get through anything. I know you can.
He was right. I didn't need to sink as low as Julia and her friends, and I certainly didn't need to rely on Mr. Walsh's money. So I applied for a part-time job at a coffee shop. Earning my own money felt so good. Suddenly, I felt free, and I knew everything was going to be okay. But then one day, when I was working, Julia and her gang came in. They still weren't over what happened, and in front of everyone, they brought up what I'd done to humiliate me. And they even recorded it, and I couldn't stop shaking. This was too much. That's when I threw a cup of coffee all over Julia and ran out of there. Julia shouted after me that she was going to tell my mom everything I'd done. Without a doubt, Julia really did it. She even sent my mom photos of me and Callum at the fair. And, well, my mom didn't take it well. I rushed home to try and explain after Mom yelled at me over the phone. But then I couldn't find Mom anywhere. I called her phone and a man answered. He said my mom was in a hospital after she fainted. I got to the hospital immediately and found out that she had collapsed from shock, but thankfully, she was okay. She had to stay in the rest of the day to be monitored, so I went to get us both a cup of coffee. That's when I saw him, Callum. He was in the ward next door sitting with some girl. I almost dropped the coffee out of shock. They looked close. I waited until he'd left, and then I went to ask the girl if Callum was her boyfriend. Well, turns out they'd been dating for 2 years already, so he was triple cheating. The girl deserved to know the truth, so I took a deep breath and told her everything. She was so upset, we decided to get our own back. So the girl called Callum and asked him to come back. As soon as he arrived, we confronted him and got the truth once and for all. He was hired by Julia to pretend to date me and ruin my life. Apparently, she was jealous of how much attention her dad gave me since my dad had died, and that her dad constantly compared her to me. He kept apologizing to his girlfriend, saying how much he loved her, and that he only agreed to help Julia so that he could earn some money to help pay for her medical bills. I was stunned. Callum was so apologetic and said he'd come clean about everything. He posted it on the school forum to clear my name and to everyone to see the ugly truth about Julia. And of course, when Mr. Walsh saw it, he made her come and apologize to me, and he also apologized himself and offered to pay my college fees again. Do you think I accepted his offer? Of course not. I was standing on my own feet now, and there was no going back. I didn't need anyone's help. So you might be wondering how I could afford college. Surely not on my coffee shop salary. Right! Well, after graduating high school, I realized how much I missed the bakery. That was where I truly felt happy. So I decided to study to become a pastry chef. And now my mom and I have opened a new bakery. I've never been happier. And there's one last thing I want to share. Oh, in fact, here he is.
Hey, Stefan, I've made your mom's fave. Let's go surprise her.
I couldn't stop smiling as Stefan took the carrot cake, kissed my cheek, and we headed for his car. Life is so much more simple now and sweet, and I love it.
Hello, I'm Annabelle from Maryland. Please like and subscribe. My parents were both computer specialists who worked from home, so they were always around to shower me with their love. They'd throw me big birthday parties in our backyard and invite the whole neighborhood. Everyone around liked us because my parents were kind and friendly. I looked a lot like my mom, but I took my dad's brown hair, which I loved. But once in first grade, some mean girls started teasing me about it.
Hey, Annabelle, how many birds live inside that nest on your head?
Oh God, you have spiders coming out of your nose again.
What? No, I don't.
But it means you look. The other kids started to laugh, and I kind of became popular after that. People thought I was funny. My life in Maryland was good until one day in the 4th grade, I got home from school to find my parents running all over the house and packing.
Annabelle, go upstairs and take only your most important things.
What are we going on holiday?
Annabelle, just go.
I packed my favorite sweater, some gadgets, and my favorite book. I fell asleep reading in the car while Dad drove miles away from our home. Hours later, I woke up in a cabin deep in the wood. Where are we?
This is our new home.
Huh?
Yes, and tomorrow you'll be starting a new day at your new school.
What? I was so confused and angry. My parents had just moved without even telling me. All my friends were back in Maryland, and I left without saying goodbye. When I asked my parents why we moved so fast, they just said it was related to their work and left it at that. The next day, I joined my new school and I made new friends. And my life went on until one day in the 7th grade. Mom and I were in the grocery store when I spotted a man who kept looking at us. I tried ignoring him, but then I saw him making call and I heard those words.
I found them.
Mom, see that man in black? He's been following us. Her face went pale and suddenly she took my hand and ran out the door. I saw the man chase us, but we managed to escape. And that night, we had to move again. Are you guys going to tell me what's going on?
The kind of work we do, it makes us special.
What do you mean?
We're like undercover detectives.
But detectives are always out searching for things, and you two are always at home on your computers.
Then we're computer detectives.
I knew he was lying, which made me more frustrated, and my parents even told me not to become close friends with anyone. I didn't see the point anyway, since we'd probably just move again. One day, in 10th grade, I was putting stuff away in my locker when this pretty girl leaned against the wall and kept staring at me. Can I help you with something?
Hi, I'm Layla, your neighbor. We just moved in next to you.
I think you're mistaken. I don't have any neighbors.
Yes, you do. We moved into the old abandoned cabin.
Oh, that place! I thought it was haunted.
The ghost of the haunted cabin would like to be your friend.
I laughed and we started hanging out. After that day, I could guess from her worn-out shoes and bag that she wasn't well off, but she always knew who was wearing which brand and seemed to be really into fashion. Her dream was to be a big designer in Paris one day. One day at recess, I caught her looking at the necklace I was wearing, and I asked her if she'd like to try it on.
How does it look?
Better on you than me. It really suits you. Keep it.
Really? Oh, thank you so much.
A few days later, we were walking home when I felt someone was following us. I turned around to see a really cute guy walking a few steps behind. Do you think that guy is stalking us?
Oh, him. He's my brother, Kyle.
Wow, he's cute.
Not you two. Please promise me that you'll never fall for my brother like the other girls. He's such a douchebag.
I promised I'd ignore his existence, which was hard because he was drop-dead gorgeous. Just as Layla and I got to my house, my parents appeared at the front door.
Who is this?
She's my friend from school, and we're also neighbors. Mom and Dad looked at each other, then pulled me inside, slamming the door in Lila's face.
We have to move again.
What? No way! I'm not moving anymore until you guys tell me what's going on. And this time, I want the truth. Don't treat me like a kid. My parents finally told me everything.
We are in witness protection. I testified against the mobsters when you were younger, and that's why we've been on the run ever since.
What? So we're in danger?
Not if we stay clear from people. We just can't trust anyone right now.
My mind started spinning and I couldn't even eat dinner. The thought of being in danger made me sick. Later that night, I was half asleep when I heard some noise downstairs. I quietly crept to my parents' room, but it was empty. Mom, Dad! My heart was beating like crazy when suddenly Layla's brother walked in. What do you want? Did you do to my parents?
What? My dad's van got stuck in the mud and your parents are outside helping him. They sent me to get a crowbar.
Oh, it's by the fireplace. I followed him outside and saw Mom, Dad, Layla, and her parents pushing the van. Once it was done, everyone came to our house for coffee. My parents didn't look so scared anymore, so I guessed we were staying. Just then, Layla sprung up and asked me if we could go to my room. And when we entered, she threw herself on my bed.
Oh, your bed is so comfortable.
Okay. Don't you have one?
No, I sleep on the couch and my stupid brother gets the bed because he's older than me.
I knew they were poor, but I didn't know things were that bad. Why do you hate your brother so much?
Because he gets everything. I mean, parents are always favoring him.
Since Layla started opening up to me, I decided to open up to her too. And I ended up telling her my parents' secret.
Wow. So you and your parents are like special undercover people?
Yeah, you could say that.
That is so cool.
Just then, Kyle came to my door and said they were going home. He looked directly at me while I spoke to Layla, and I blushed. Layla clearly noticed it because as she was leaving, she whispered in my ear,
"Remember your promise?"
The next day at school, the principal had a shocking announcement to make. She said that someone had broken into the cheerleaders' locker room the day before and stolen many wallets, watches, and cell phones.
We have a hooded figure caught on the security footage, and when I identify the culprit, he or she will be expelled. But if you come forward and confess, I'll be willing to consider another punishment.
Later that day, I was in the library trying to reach a book when suddenly Kyle appeared next to me and took it down. I mumbled to thank you and turned to leave, but I suddenly stumbled, and just as I was about to fall, he caught me, and I couldn't help looking into his blue eyes.
What's going on here?
He just helped me get the book. After Kyle was done, Lila walked with me quietly down the hallway, but then she suddenly stopped.
I have to tell you something, Annabelle. I think Kyle stole all the things the principal was talking about.
What? Why do you think that?
Because he's done it before in our old school.
I was shocked. Layla stayed back for some after-school club that day. And as I was walking back home, Kyle, suddenly joined me.
We could walk together, if you don't mind.
Okay, if you insist. He tried striking up a conversation, but I kept my answers really short. Just then, I tripped on a rock and he caught me before I hit the ground, but I quickly pulled away.
Annabelle, did Layla say something about me?
As a matter of fact, she did. Did you steal all that stuff from the cheerleaders?
Gosh, no, I'd never do that. Listen, Layla hates me because our dad left her mom from my mom. She's been making my life miserable since forever by making up awful stories about me.
He looked so genuine that I couldn't help believing him. We took a walk by the riverside and spoke some more, and I felt butterflies every time he looked into my eyes. And when he dropped me home, he gave me a quick kiss on the cheek. I couldn't stop thinking about him the whole night. But the next day at school, Layla approached me, looking upset.
I thought you were a good friend, but I guess you're more desperate to be with my brother. Yeah, I came home early and I saw that kiss.
Wait, Layla, please! But she stormed off and ignored me the whole day. After school, I saw her by her locker and walked up to her, and she looked startled. Before she could shut her locker, a couple of watches fell to the floor. Where did you get these? And what else do you have in there?
They're mine, of course, and none of your for business.
You stole those from the cheerleaders.
No, I didn't. I found these things in Kyle's room, and now I'm returning them before he could sell them, and I'm covering his butt. See what a good sister I am.
Stop lying. If you don't confess to the principal, I'll tell her. Suddenly, Layla dropped to her knees, crying.
Okay, yes, I took them. I have a problem. I can't help it. I want to be able to afford beautiful things, and sometimes when I see the girls here with their branded stuff, it makes me feel crazy. I know it was wrong, and I'll go to the principal tomorrow, okay? But please don't tell anyone yet, especially Kyle.
I promised that I wouldn't, and I said I'd go to the principal with her, and everyone had to bring their parents for the first class. As my parents explained their fake computer job to my classmates, Layla suddenly spoke up.
Your computer specialists? Well, that's not what your daughter says. In fact, she makes up these tall stories about how you're undercover detectives who testified against the mobsters, and now you're on the run. Clearly, Annabelle has a lying and attention-seeking problem.
My parents' faces turned white, and I just couldn't believe Layla had announced my secret. They signaled at me to come out, and Layla leaned over and whispered,
"See you never again."
My parents were furious that I told Layla everything. I'm so sorry. I thought I could trust Sir. We frantically started packing, but just as we were leaving, we heard a screeching car coming towards our house, but it was a police car.
We were alerted by someone that you might be in danger, but we came here to tell you that the threat to you guys is gone. The mobsters who have been after you were arrested earlier this week, and just today they were sentenced to life in prison. You're safe now.
My parents and I were overjoyed. We didn't have to run anymore, but I certainly had some business to take care of in school. Went back and marched straight to the principal, and moments later, she ordered Layla to open her locker. All the stolen items were found. Her parents were called in, and she was expelled. She turned furiously to her dad.
It's all your fault. You made me crazy by leaving. Mom, am I always giving everything to Kyle and not me?
Your mom and I got divorced because that's what we both wanted, and Kyle works 2 jobs to help me. He has things because he earns them while all you do is complete.
As Layla was storming off, she suddenly leapt at Kyle, but I pushed her back. Her dad took her away, and soon after, I found out that Layla had been sent to live with her mom. Kyle asked me out, and we dated all throughout high school. After we graduated, I was going to study abroad. A few hours before my flight, I met Kyle at our favorite spot by the river.
I got you something. Close your eyes.
He put something around my wrist, and I saw that it was a silver bangle with our names carved on it. Wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah, no more charm bracelets. I don't want you getting stuck on another boy's sweater.
Never. I like being stuck right here, and I'll be coming back to you, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Rowan, the first redhead. My dad was the governor. I always knew how lucky I was. A happy life and a loving family. My parents supported everything I loved. I still remembered when Dad ordered me a full set of paintbrushes all the way from Italy. My dream was to become a world-famous artist. Literally everyone knew that, even Iris. Ah, she's also a girl with red hair. Iris was gentle and sweet, even though kids at school could be brutal. When they found out her mom worked night shifts as a nurse, and she didn't have a dad picking her up, I still remember how Iris would laugh it off, then quietly cry in the bathroom later.
I don't get why you still hang out with me. Your life is way too different.
Because you're my friend, that's it.
I mean, Rowan, thank you. You really matter to me.
Iris already had so little, so I always tried to treat her extra kindly. She slept over at my house a lot, usually because her mom was working the night shift at the hospital.
My mom says thanks for letting me sleep here again.
And my mom said to just treat this place like your home. One night, we sat in the garden drinking warm tea while waiting for shooting stars.
Look. Oh, I wish I'd become an actress on real screens. Big ones.
And I'll be an artist with paintings. Everyone in the world knows we're gonna make it, right?
When we're famous, we won't forget each other.
Always. High school started and we grabbed attention on day 1. People recognized us.
Are you guys the Leap Day twins?
The red-haired girls.
For weeks, students kept coming up to us just to take photos with us. Iris loved it, the attention, the admiration, all of it. She smiled more and got more confident every day. Me? Whenever I could, I'd slip away to some quiet hallway or hidden corner to get lost in my paintings. That's how I found that garden. It wasn't crowded, but the flowers were beautiful. Every afternoon, I'd take my canvas there and paint whatever my heart wanted. But sometimes I felt it, like someone was watching me around. Then the attention slowly faded. People stopped talking about the redhead duo, and life went back to normal.
This sucks. It's like we don't even exist anymore.
I just laughed. Honestly, I liked the piece. One day, in the school bathroom, I overheard 2 girls talking. I wasn't really paying attention until I heard our names.
Honestly, Iris is only known because she looks like Rowan.
Exactly. Without Rowan, she's nothing. Leap Day twins, please. One's the original, the other's just a copy. I took a breath, stepped out of the stall, and looked straight at them. You don't get to talk about Iris like that. They froze, muttered some awkward apology, and rushed out. Thank goodness Iris didn't hear. My fragile best friend did not deserve that. That afternoon, my art teacher asked me to stay after class. She smiled and slid an envelope toward me.
This is an exchange program in Italy. They only accept a few students every year. You should think about it.
My hand shook as I opened it. I read it again and again just to make sure it was real. An art school in Italy. It felt like my dream was finally being seen. When I walked out, Iris was waiting. I thought she'd smile, scream, freak out with me like best friends do. But instead, her face slowly fell.
If you leave, I don't think I can handle it.
Those words hit way harder than I expected. We'd once promised each other under the stars that our future always included both of us. And yeah, I only had one best friend. Opportunities would come again if I was really good enough. So in the end, I turned the offer down. In the days after that, I kept going back to the garden to paint. That's when I realized I wasn't alone. Through the ivy, I caught someone watching me, a really good-looking guy. Sketchbook on his lap, pencil moving slowly, and trying terribly hard not to look embarrassed that I noticed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I come here to draw too.
What are you drawing? He hesitated, then turned the sketchbook around. You drew me?
I'm sorry I didn't ask first. I just liked how calm you looked, like you forgot the whole world even existed.
I thought I'd be mad or call him a creep or something, but instead I laughed. Jeez Louise, I'd never even thought of myself as pretty like that. I'm Rowan.
You can call me Elliot.
We sat there for a while, talking about art, somehow totally in sync. Then we talked about everything else. Little by little, that garden became our spot. I smiled every time I knew I'd see him. My heart felt lighter around him.
You've been smiling a lot lately. That's weird.
I told Iris about the garden and about Elliot because that's what best friends do, right? She listened at first, then frowned.
Are you sure he really likes you? I mean, guys like that usually aren't serious.
Elliot's not like that.
People who pay that much attention, they are never simple. Just be careful, okay? I don't want you hurt.
She squeezed my hand. I smiled back. Maybe she was right. I didn't even know Elliot that well yet. A few days later, Iris asked me to walk home so we could stop for ice cream. Halfway there, she suddenly froze.
Wait, look.
I followed her gaze, and my chest heightened. On the other side of the street, Elliot was carrying a girl on his back. Her arms were loosely around his shoulders. Her head rested against his neck.
Rowan, look at them. I didn't want to say anything before, but I had a bad feeling.
After that, I avoided him everywhere. There was no reason to talk to him anymore. One afternoon, in an empty hallway, someone grabbed my shoulder and turned me around. Elliot.
Why are you avoiding me? What did I do wrong?
I saw you with your girlfriend. You were carrying her.
She wasn't my girlfriend, just a stranger who got hurt. She asked me for help.
He's totally gonna lie. Trust me. He'll say he was just helping someone in need. No guy ever admits the truth. Stay sharp.
And Rowan, I should tell you, Iris texted me. She flirted with me. She knows about us, and...
Stop. He looked right into my eyes, waiting. My mind spun. Iris had been my best friend for 17 years. And Elliot, I'm so sorry. I have to go. I went back to spending time with Iris like before. From the outside, nothing changed. but the easy happiness I once felt around her was gone. Then something wild happened. A TV network wanted to make a teen movie inspired by the red-haired Leap Day girls. They wanted me and Iris to play twins.
Please.
But my first instinct was to say no. That life wasn't mine.
This is my dream, to be an actress on big screens.
For a second, I thought about my art dream, the one I'd already sacrificed. But the joy in her eyes made me feel selfish for even hesitating. I had to support her, right? The audition took place in a real studio, and Iris was shaking with excitement. They gave us the script right before we went in. I skimmed it and frowned. The scene they wanted was a fight between the twins.
We want it to feel real. Don't hold back.
We started acting. Iris's voice trembled like she was really emotional. Then it happened. She slapped me. It wasn't in the script. The slap was hard. My cheeks burned hot. The whole studio went silent.
Amazing. So real.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Rowan, I didn't mean to hit that hard. I was just acting.
Everyone laughed it off. The director looked thrilled. I nodded quietly, but I was the only one who saw her eyes at that moment. Cold, jealous, almost hungry. I couldn't recognize my best friend. The movie went ahead anyway. Months later, it premiered and blew up. Interviews, headlines, red carpets, everything hit at once. Iris was over the moon. She stepped forward a little more, answered first, glowed under the lights like a real star, and I was happy for her. The movie premiere press conference was loud and chaotic, with fans screaming and cameras flashing non-stop. A reporter pushed his mic forward from the crowd.
Iris, how do you feel about people saying you're just Rowan's shadow?
It was such a rude question. At first, I thought Iris would just ignore it.
I guess people don't really know what it feels like.
The room went quiet. Only the sound of cameras kept clicking.
I grew up. Poor kids at school made fun of me. They said I was just a copy.
That must have been really hard for you. Owen's shadow?
Yeah, I went through everything alone, and honestly, if I hadn't been strong enough, I don't think I'd even be here today.
I looked at Iris and shook my head slightly, silently begging her to stop, just for a second and remember us. Somehow, she erased me and my family from her past. She denied every bit of love we gave her. And just like that, I became the villain in her story. Her tears suddenly made everything crystal clear. Iris had been jealous for a long time. She was craving what I had, wanting me pushed down so she could rise. But I still stayed quiet. I stood up to leave. Then someone grabbed my hand. Elliot again.
Iris, I think you're only telling half the truth.
His voice was calm and steady, the way someone speaks when they've seen the whole picture. He talked about what really happened. The manipulation, the slow collapse of a friendship that once felt genuine but had been eaten away by jealousy.
Liar.
She lunged at him, yelling. Her face twisted with anger, and people rushed in to hold her back. Watching her struggle like that, I knew there was nothing left to save. A year later, the red-haired duo had quietly disappeared from the media. Iris moved back in with her mom, returning to the life she'd tried so hard to escape. Her dream didn't end because of poverty. It ended because jealousy had hollowed her out from the inside. The door swung open, and I couldn't help smiling when I saw his face.
Rowan, my love, I think it's time you moved somewhere new, just for us.
Where? Elliot set 2 envelopes on the table in front of me.
Italy.